Good morning. Happy Friday. Thank you for your patience while I started a couple minutes later than usual, but thank you so much. Now, it's the last Friday of September. It's the last day of September. What even happened? So that means this is our last live stream with the September Best of Both Worlds kit. And on Monday, I'm going to crack into October. I have promised to use the Small World paper today, and I'm going to do that. And there's something for you to see over on Instagram that includes a giveaway. So you can pop over there now anytime you wish at instagram.com/Shimelle. Oh, and I probably should have put a deadline in there. I will amend the caption to include that because I totally forgot. So if you pop over, the very last post, the most recent post, is a reel about how to watch the SBC Fest classes just one at a time, because it might be a little intimidating, although you can still watch them. You'd go over and be like, but there are 2 videos that are each over 6 hours long, which is true. But there's a nice, easy way to break it into individual classes and just go to the instructor you want and watch that one and then take a break and come back. So I've done a little reel on how to do that, and if you watch all the way to the end, which is still less than a minute, it also has a little bonus giveaway. So you have to watch the end to find out how to enter. But I should put a deadline on there. I'll sort that out. Right. And we got lots of talk in the chat about when everybody's clocks go back. Our clocks have not changed yet. So there we go. Now, thank you, everybody who's here. We've got Elaine and Melinda and Rebecca and Jean and Ladybug, Joanne, Christy, Rebecca, Julianne, Melinda, Mel. Who have I not said? Scrap and Fox is here. Kat and Nadine. Yeah. And anybody else? Good morning. Carrie and Sophia. Yes. Anybody else who's here live, thank you. And also a lovely hello to those of you who watch on the replay. Hello out there in Tomorrowland. I hope the future is treating you well. Let's start off with a little bend and snap, and I'll tell you about these pictures. So today I have got 2 photos from a very special, lovely day with the family of, 2 parts of the family, of somebody who watches here. And so our lovely Corey, who I'm sure right now is tucked up in bed asleep, came to London with her daughter, and before they flew home, we had a day to go take some pictures, and oh my goodness, what a lovely girl she is, and spent so much time talking and listening with WB, and the 2 of them just got on so well, and it was a very lovely day. So I thought, I promised you I'd give you a way to use the Small World paper without photos at Disneyland. So I thought I'd use photos of someone who lives far away and met and had something in common, and that they got on well, because that goes with the It's a Small World kind of theme, even though the colors are not probably what you would put together. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, Sophia. Sophia's 7-year-old has one individual chicken pox this morning. 5-year-old had it a week and a bit ago, so you were waiting. Oh, is that, Sophia, once the 7-year-olds had it, is that everybody in your house has had it and you're done? With all fingers crossed? I hope so. Right, so let's trim these down. And then I need to find, WB borrowed my sketch pad last night to write down the moves in a chess game. So I'm going to find a sketch pad. Do that in just a second. So I cut these down. So I've printed these. They're 4x6 photos, like that ratio, but or 2x3 ratio. But I printed them with white borders, so they're smaller. Because I just thought this paper is quite busy, and printing them a little bit smaller might give me the ability to frame them a bit more, to put a bit of distance between the pictures and the busy paper. And also would give me room for plenty of journaling, because I thought this would be a good one for both of us to include journaling. So I'm thinking of a little hidden journaling pocket today, so that one of us can have the journaling visible and then the other one behind, and I will let him pick if he wants his visible or behind. That's where I'm going. Right. Okay. And we've got this much of that yellow left. So that's going to go nicely. And we've got that whole paper pad here. So let's sort out straight away if I got some colors, like, is this one going to match? Let's see. I've certainly got white backed papers that will work. But I thought I could use the pink, just this part. That one's not bad. I think the turquoise one might be even better. This one. Yeah. Okay. So that's definitely going to come in there. That's lovely. Got this turquoise too. Pull that out from matting. Oh, this one might be even better. That's the same color. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. And there's some yellow there. And that yellow. All right, so I got quite a few pieces there from the 6x8. Right, let's see if I got something to draw on. What? You know the other day where I was like, I can't find the other one, and I opened a new one of these. Then at what point did it end up that the other one was immediately behind me? I'm sure I would have looked there. Did I look right at it and not see it? You know, when you do, well, maybe not everybody does that, but I do that. Look right at it and don't register that you're seeing it. So I might have done that. Whoops. Okay. There's a sketch pad. Fabulous. Right. The old one back. Let's figure out how this is going to go. Oh, Elaine, that does sound scary to have chicken pox, not only as an adult, which I'm convinced everyone says is more horrible, but also while pregnant. That does not sound fun. No. Okay. Definitely need some pink coming in here too. Speaking of, pink Sharpie. Okay, I'm not the only one that does that, Jean and Sophia, straight in there saying, nope, they do that too. Just look at something and do not register that it is exactly the thing you are looking for right now. Right. Okay. So obviously you're going to have the two photos. They're going to have at least a matte, but you know that that's never possible. So, you know, a couple mattes here. Okay. Then I do kind of want at least an L shape of that paper to be visible, or I think it won't read, you won't see enough of it to get the small world kind of feel. So I think then the trick is to make maybe even multiple journaling pockets. So that, like, there's journaling here that you pull out, and there's journaling, you know, in another piece here. So you've got multiple journaling pieces to pull out. Okay. And then we are going to do some sort of "It's a Small World" title. And where's that going to go? Where's their placement in the photo? No. Can't go over the top of the photos. This one takes the whole frame. Could go on this one, but not this one. Okay, so I'm not on my own in the house today, and I said the words to Small World. Can you guess what is happening? There's a small humming voice downstairs. Sorry. Okay, I think we do it like this. Okay, the spacing will be a little better, but I think the title is going to be a bigger title up here, and then that gives us this space over here to add in embellishments. And I've got quite a few of those flower die cuts left, so I'm going to pull those out. Okay, so journaling, I'm going to put an arrow. In pockets so that you can pull out the journaling. Okay, so a sketch that you could bookmark for a day when you're like, I want to write all this down, but I don't want it all on the page. Or also a sketch for you to bookmark as, I really like this pattern paper and I don't want to cover it all up, because there's a nice L-shaped piece there of the pattern that's still going to show. Cool? Right. Hi! My name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime you scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my hashtag advertising. I really appreciate you being here, and I always enjoy hearing from you in the live chat, in the comments later. If you have a question, you want to send me a message, go for it. And in the description box below the video, you'll find the answers to a lot of the big questions, like what supplies am I using today? That's the September kit, which is linked. What supplies will I be using next month? That's the October kit, and that's also linked. What am I teaching? Well, today is the 30th of September, which means it's the very last day to get the stencil class for just $5. Tomorrow it will be $10. And then in the early days of October, I will open the October Use What You Buy workshop, and that'll follow the same pricing structure so that you can get it in October for $5. If you wait past that month, then it goes up to $10. Nice and simple. So the Use What You Buy classes, there are 2 of them that you could buy right now, and then one coming in a matter of days. The first one was all about stamp sets, and the second was all about stencils. Next month is all about bold pattern papers. And each one gives you 4 ideas with a 22 to 23 minute video that's completely on topic, and it walks you through the whole process of one page, so that you have 4 different complete process videos showing you 4 different ways to use that particular supply. And they're all designed so that you can take it and run with it with all the different things you have under that heading. So it's not that you need the 4 stencils that I used, or the 4 stamp sets that I used, or next month the 4 bold pattern papers that I used, but an idea for any stamp set or stencil or bold pattern paper that you have to hand. And that way, whatever you bought in your scrapbooking stash, you can make sure you use it and get in your albums. And that is an idea that is near and dear to my heart. So I hope you will also use what you buy. Fabulous. Let's scrapbook. Okay. Are we all good? Are we all good? Sophia is excited for October because she loves bold pattern papers. And Kay is doing the stamping tag page. Yay. Orangina says, am I late to the party? Are you wearing new spectacles? Well, it's funny that. So in the summer, I finally had my eyes tested again, and I ended up buying 3 pairs of glasses. And I thought when I got them, I won't say anything. And I think you're the first person to comment because they're so similar to what I have worn for years. I bought 3 different versions of tortoiseshell glasses. These are just plain tortoiseshell, but they're slightly different shape, the bigger lens. And they look almost identical to my first ever pair of glasses when I was about 12, 13. And then I bought a tortoiseshell with hot pink in it and a tortoiseshell with blue in it because there was an offer, and like the first pair was full price. If you got a second pair, then it was half price. And then the third pair, if you selected from this tiny little shelf of selections was free. And I'm like, well, yes. So there you go. Thanks for noticing, Orangina. They are new-ish. Okay, I wanted to add pink. So let's get some pink in here. What do we got? We have these pinks from the backgrounds. We've got this, which might actually, oh, with bonus, my hair is stuck to the glue on the back of it. Sorry. Okay. Oh, it's still there. I thought I pulled it off. Come on. Okay. Got a scrap of that from the kit. What else have we got in here? We've got some strips here. And where are all the flowers? Where have all my die cuts gone? Here we go. Is this all I got left? Mm-hmm. Lots of leaves. Oh. Those pink flowers, they look very Small World as well. So those two are for sure coming in. Okay. Sophia says, Orangina, you get bonus points. Jean says, some in the paper pad too. Oh, what, more pinks? Yes. A bit more pink in there. All right, I'm just going to double check that I didn't leave any other kit pieces sitting down here. There's a couple more flowers. And I know I've got stencils that I need to sort out. So I think I'll do a little bonus with the school stencils because I've got the apple and the crayon, and I do love them both, but I haven't used them on pages this month. So I will show those on a separate project rather than feel like I need to shoehorn crayons into this design. Okay. What do we got? Some oranges and a blue one there. I don't think we're done too badly then using those floral pieces. Oh, and this is from this month's kit. Okay. Might be too dark, but I want to look at the other side. The other side's that peachy color. Peachy, peachy. Okay, no. These. Melinda says, I don't know why, but lately I found it difficult when it comes to embellishing my page. A case of embellishment paralysis. I have a large stash, so it could be how I store them or how I scrapbook. Melinda, well, let's talk. When's the last time that you went through the embellishments that you have in your stash? Are they somewhere where you can't see them, or are they somewhere where you can? Because that would be my first port of call. First port of call would be to go through them all and then ignore them. Like just go through them all, put them away for a day or two. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think those would be that side. Other border pieces here too. Okay. See, sometimes you just got to look at what you've got and put it aside for a little bit. But yeah, if you've got embellishments hanging around, I think one of the best things you can do, and you're like, I have these and I'm not using them. Okay. Go through them, put them away, so that you are refreshing your brain as to what you have, and your mind will do a little ticking over in the background when you're not looking at something. So you can just kind of leave it be for a little bit. And like, do you scrapbook every day, or are you somebody who scrapbooks, you have a day or two a week, or even less than that? So I think that's an important thing to consider, because you can, do I like those in the other order? I do. Oh, crumbs. What's to tear? Okay. Yeah, what was I saying? So if you scrapbook all the time, like more than once a week, then you might have a smaller gap. So you might actually use your scrapbooking time to go through and look at what you've got and put it away again without scrapbooking. Or just by making the beginning of a page and not worrying about the embellishment yet. Or if you don't scrapbook very often, like you scrapbook like, you know, every 2 to 3 weeks or less often than that, then use a couple minutes out of non-scrapbooking days and go and look at the stuff and then close the drawer or the shelf or whatever it is. Okay. Melinda says, okay, she lately scrapbooks just on the weekends, but wants to scrap more often than that. It's off. Oh, hold on. I've missed one. I've recently moved and sorted them into like for like in lidded containers. So they're on an easy to access shelf. Die cuts are further sorted into small drawers. It's also about how to narrow the choices down. I spend so much time looking and get discouraged and stop mid layout. Okay. Stop allowing yourself to look at everything. Okay. So make a page this weekend where you pick out supplies and put them on the desk and then you use what you've got. Okay. The reason that I can do these live streams where I'm always able to put together a whole layout without a lot of forward planning, sometimes without any forward planning, comes entirely from the fact that I don't have an open-ended stash availability for this. I have the kit, I work from the kit. The odd time here or there, I'll be like, oh, I really wish this had this, and I might go get that from my stash. But I never have free choice of every single thing that I own. And that keeps the choices down so that I can't have so much paralysis. Also, this changes the goal of using your supplies. If you set up a kit, be it a page kit or a kit to last for several pages or a kit to last through a crop or whatever, if you set out a certain set of supplies, there is something in the way that you use them that will go from a mindset of, oh, I want to keep this back because it might not be special. The photo I'm going to do is not special enough to warrant this supply. Yeah. So say this die cut was like, or this chipboard piece was like this really precious chipboard piece to me. And I'd been like going, oh, what if these photos are not good enough for it? I should put it away and save it again. And this is an almost universal crafting thing. Okay. We all get these ideas where we're like, but I really love this product. Or it might come from when you've splurged and bought a product that's a little more than what you wanted to pay, but then you decided, actually, no, I really like that. I'm going to buy it. But then you're really nervous about using it. But when you put things into a kit and you're like, I'm going to use this all up, your mindset changes and you get really excited when you get to the end of things and you get them on the layouts rather than saving them and saving them and saving them. Does this make sense? But yes, Melinda, I do think, yeah, look at your stash on non-scrapping days, and that may really help you find a bit of clarity. What I do is, I don't do it with embellishments because that doesn't motivate me as well. I almost always start thinking everything in paper. So for me, I look at the paper, but if I were having trouble using embellishments, then I would adopt this technique for embellishments. So what I do is on a day that I'm not scrapbooking, I open my paper cupboard and I go through one stack of paper and I just look at it and take a deep breath, and then I put it back on the shelf and I go away. Okay, and it just keeps ideas flowing and it keeps you in touch with what you own, what you've already bought. Yeah, lots of things like that. Okay, so right now I'm just cutting mats to go behind these pictures. I love a grid because it's so easy to cut. And then I'm going to do hot pink. So I wanted to show you what I'm doing here. Look at the colors of these mats in the order they go in. The yellow, the teal, the pale pink, the bright pink. So you can see it here, obviously, because this is pale and more saturated in the same color, both pinks. But look, this yellow is also a lighter color compared to the teal that's way more saturated. So pale, saturated, or less saturated, more saturated, less saturated, more saturated. So even if you're changing colors as you go, you can also look at those tones to try and figure out what order you want everything to go in. And I wanted to end on a more saturated one so that it'll have some contrast against here. So see, this pink is actually more saturated than the most saturated pink in the pattern paper. So that's going to really bring it out. Okay. Melinda says choosing background paper and layering things, that part's really fun for her, but then the embellishments are overwhelming. Okay. So, are you near your scrap stuff right now or no? Because if you are, I can give you an exercise. If you're close. I was trying to see. Maybe I don't want to ink anything today. Am I a pod person? I think I'm not going to ink. I might regret it later. But for now, I think I'm going to just stay nice and bright. Okay, remember I want pockets for the journaling to go into, so I'm going to start that now. So I'm putting this one because this is a partial mat. So that's stuck all the way down, pretty much. But then this is going to be a pocket and this is going to be a pocket. So I leave the top edge open. Adhesive, adhesive, adhesive. That's the sides and the bottom, but not the top. And then put it on here. I do want it a little off center because I don't want my mats to be too formal. So now I can put paper in here, yes, and then I do the same thing here. Sides and the bottom, but not the top. And then we'll take it the other way so that it's off center in the other direction. Yeah, so wider piece of the light pink here, wider piece of the bright pink on this side. But I got two pockets there so that I can have two bits of journaling. Now, let's go to those next. I think WB's journaling goes on this paper. It says kid approved. And I think what I'm going to do is fold it so that he can have that whole sheet to write on. Let's see if that's going to fit in there, or do I need to make it a little narrower? It's not bad. Okay. I'm going to take just a little bit off this edge here, just to make it nice and easy to fit. And I'm going to punch a hole in the top to make it easy to know that it comes out. So that one is going to go in there. I'm trying to decide, do I want... Oh, but the title's going to be up here. So these are quite big letters. If I leave those letters visible, it's going to get harder to read the title. So I'm going to tuck that right the way in right now. Okay, Melinda says that she's near her scrap stuff. So I'm going to give her an exercise. If anybody else has a similar kind of thought process where choosing papers and layering your papers is great, but then you get a little stuck as to where to go from there. Then you can follow this exercise as well. Or you could bookmark this to come back to it. If it's something that you think, actually, I can see myself having that problem, then you could come back to this exercise. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is the fun part. I want you to choose 5 pattern papers that you would use together. They might all be from the same collection. They might be from different things. They might be a mix of full pages and scraps. But as I'd like for you to actually be able to use this, choose at least one that will be okay to be a background. So you'll need one sheet. Either you're going to put it on white cardstock if you do all scraps, or plain cardstock of any color, or you need at least one 12 by 12. So first step, choose 5 pattern papers that you would happily use together. Okay, I don't need as much room for my journaling, so I'm going to cut this down this way. But then that gives me this, like, look, oh, look, I've totally cut this paper because it has a frame. So you can tell that I've cut the paper away, right? That's okay. I'm going to take the other side of the pink grid and a border punch. And I'm going to give it a little edge to cover where I broke the frame, where I chopped it up. Yep, that's what I need. So I take this, run it across there. I've got a grid paper here, so I can use my grid to line up the scallops. Turn this over and cut the extra off, so it's all nice and square again. And that's my journaling box. Now, I think it needs to fit in this way. So if I make it actually go to this side, I'm looking at how I can layer the 2 pockets. So now I can pull that one up a little bit more so it's not so hidden, because the wording is going to be behind there. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to punch a hole in this one as well. There we go. All right, so that's going to go on there like this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stick this onto my background. Melinda's going to shout when she's got 5 pattern papers, or 5 papers, whether they're patterned or not, selected. And then the next thing that you're going to go get, if you're following along with that sort of embellishment adventure, is that you want 2 kinds of letters, one big, one small, unless you think that you would stamp or die cut your letters, which is absolutely fine, or use like a pre-made title piece where you get like a big word. But 2 kinds of lettering of some sort, be that a pre-made word or anything else. Different colors, different sizes, like a big red alphabet and a small green alphabet or whatever, right? And that coordinate with your 5 papers. So you got 5 papers, you got 2 types of lettering. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2. Step 3 is when you get into the embellishments, but start with the simple stuff first. So you're going to get things like labels, tags, circles, the plainest of embellishments, the sorts of things that you can tuck around the edges and that would go with absolutely any theme, okay? Start there and get a little gathering, not a massive gathering, just a little gathering of stuff that would go with the 5 papers and the 2 alphas that you've picked out. So simple embellishments first. Look for labels, look for tags, look for really basic shapes. Or if there are things that are always universal to your style, like I could probably put rainbows as a neutral now because I put them on everything. So that's fine too, okay? But don't go themed, go simple to start. Okay. I won't go on from there yet. I'll give you some time. Okay. Now, how am I going to do the title for this? I think I have to pull out letters in these colors, not the red and blue I've been using this month, but that's okay. I do have these, and these are going to match today, right? Yeah. Okay. I can use the yellows. I'm going to use everything except the 3 orange dots, I think. And actually, I have orange. I have orange flowers, so it's quite tempting. Okay. That needs to come over here like this. And then this one over here. Yeah. Okay. Can I make that? Yeah, that's where that's going to go. Okay. This one needs popping up because that looks lovely how it's just not stuck. So we'll do that. We'll put flat adhesive at the bottom here and we'll pop up the top. Okay, so what I'm looking at here with this die cut, I've tucked this so that I've got something in this little corner here. But that's also going to leave me this open space where the stem curls underneath the flower. I want to bring that in toward the photo so that I don't have a big extra gap. I want it to feel like it's part of this photo mat block, not part of the background. So now there's not quite so much busyness happening here. This one over here. This one's smaller, and it doesn't really, it leans the other way the tiniest bit, so I'm going to help it by positioning it in a way that kind of helps it lean in. Okay, so we've got 2 pieces there facing in. Now, do I have other pieces that look similar, alike? What have I got? Can you this big green leaf behind here? Yeah. And then maybe these, I've got 2 smaller light green leaf die cuts that can come over here. That one totally bends the wrong way. This one bends the right way though. So let's see if I can pop that under here. Because I've made these pockets, everything's a little more stuck than usual for me. So I'm putting this underneath the yellow, which is not a pocket. Not a pocket, not a pocket. Okay. Oh, thank you, Orangina. Okay, so step 1, 5 papers. Step 2, 2 kinds of lettering. Step 3, plain embellishments like labels and circles. Yeah, basic shapes. Cool? Let us know when you've done those 3. It will take you on to 4 and 5, and then you're basically there. Okay. Right, I was going to look for lettering. What have we got? Have I already pulled out pink this month? No. Okay. I know I had pink letters, though. I've got bright pink here. And I think, whoops. Okay. That's orange. orange. Don't want orange. Got a lighter pink here, but I'm not sure how many letters are in it. Let's have a look. Or here. Oh, that one has lots of letters. That's good. Oh, thickers, I kind of miss you, but you don't seem to be what you were. I miss the joy of 10 new kinds of thickers every release section, and that just doesn't happen now. Okay, I thought I had a pale pink in, well, I know I do. I have this in a pale pink, but I'm not sure where it is. I have these two that are paler. I have those that are bright, and then I also have green that we'd had pulled out already once this month for the Peter Pan layout. And I mean, I'm sitting here saying I'm sad about no thickers, so maybe I do these. Okay. I think it needs to be something a little bright here. I think the pale pink will disappear there. So, A, F, T, E, R. Second A. Oh, I've got multiple L's here. Okay, so I can do After All in the hot pink. Christy says, can you buy the field trip paper pad anywhere? Okay, so when I put this kit live, it existed at scrapbook.com, but then we bought all they had. So I'm sure there's some out there somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. You might want to just Google Shimelle field trip 6x8 paper pad and see if something comes up. I apologize if that is too obvious and you've already done that. But also you might find it if you ask on like scrappy Facebook groups that do supplies like Old Stash and stuff, because there will be people who bought it and haven't used it. I guarantee it. And they'll be like, oh, actually, maybe I'm ready to set it free. But I don't know off the top of my head. Chat currently about the expectations we had of scrapbooking babies versus the reality of scrapbooking with babies. So I have a video on my channel that is like how to start a baby book with Project Life. And I haven't ever taken the video down because I do think it could be super useful and there is information in there that did really help me. But I will say right now that album is not complete. Did I get more finished in that album than I would have without the strategies that I put in place? Yes. So that's why I've kept it. But basically, I realized quite quickly that the big difference for scrapbooking with a baby in the house for me was being able to scrapbook in tiny pieces of time. So I had been, before I had a child, I was somebody who could spend a whole day scrapbooking without interruption. And that's what I would do. That's why it was much easier for me to put classes together and stuff, because I was very in the zone and I would just get to work and scrapbook all day and have like all this content ready to go. And then someone enters your house who messes up your schedule. What's that about? So I needed to be able to do things in small bits. And Project Life or Pocket Pages or whatever kind of small format scrapbooking you want to, whatever you want to label that. It was super helpful because I could go and do one 3x4 card and feel like I did something rather than doing one layer of paper on a 12x12 and feel like I was never going to get anything done and never getting to a groove where I felt like I was enjoying it. Yeah, so I do think pockets can be really helpful. But maybe would I have been better off if I hadn't ever started the whole like week by week concept that was really popular at the time. So I did week by week, and that then set me up to, if I didn't finish it within the week, I was behind again. I don't know. I had never ever in any other scrapbooking ever felt like I am behind or there is a deadline. So, but yeah, having small amounts of time. And the other things that I changed that did really, really work well. I bought the wireless printer and I printed my photos just at random whenever I was pinned. So, I had a child who did not like sleeping in beds, only liked sleeping on humans. And so I quite often, if I wanted my child to sleep, would have to either walk and wear him, like put him in a sling and go for a walk, or sit with him very still on my lap, which meant I couldn't get up and do other stuff. But I could sit on my phone, edit photos, and send them over to the printer that was on a shelf in the next room. So I did that. And yeah, so that was great. And then I started using, I much prefer pen and paper for keeping notes. And I have journals all over the shop. And so I went through that first year, I went through phases. I would either have notebooks strewn all over my house for all of the potential places that I could end up sitting with a child, or I used the notes app on my phone and took lots of notes that way. Yeah, so that's what I did. Don't know if that is helpful to anybody. Mel also had a baby that had to be walked to sleep all the time. Yeah. But yeah, don't let anybody make you feel like you are behind in scrapbooking. It is totally not a thing. I'm not sure where it got invented. If it got invented to sell more stuff, I think that's probably quite likely. I think it's possible that there was a case of like in the early days of scrapbooking where a lot of it was home sales, that a really wonderful, wonderful as in it would make you more money, a technique to get people buying more stuff would be like, well, you need to get all of this month's photos scrapbooked so you can develop the film and get next month's photos printed out, and then you'll work on those, which meant if people were always using that, then they would keep buying more stuff. I don't know. And when it was with film, it was always this case of let's scrapbook this whole roll of film before we develop the next roll of film. So then when you take that logic and translate it into digital, you're just like, there's no end. Because we take more photos than ever, like at an exponential amount as a population now. It's mad how many photos we take, and I'm here for that. It's great, but it does mean that if you ever get into the mentality of, oh, I have to keep up, yeah, you are setting yourself a basically impossible sort of situation. So just chill, erase that thought. Okay, I got apostrophes here. I do. They're tiny. Hello, Melinda in Australia. We got, oh. Let's space that out a little bit better. Okay. That's it. Is it? I don't know. Maybe the eye needs to come in closer. Would that help? Yeah. You know, I just realized I'm wearing the wrong sleeves. I have a Small World t-shirt. I could have worn it. Totally forgot. Right. It's A. Yay! Okay, so that title works, and I just need to get these placed where they're going to work. So this one's going behind the turquoise. I think I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. Oh, if I trim it a little shorter down here, though, I'm going to lose my frame at the bottom. So how much can I pop this in here? How far down will it go? Ha, I lose the A. So I could fold it, because nobody's going to see this. Like, as a design element, it's fine if it's folded. It's just going to give more dimension here. And it's easy enough to just open that to read it when you pull it out. So then bring that down to here, that down there. Yeah. Okay. Or if you don't like angles here, you see how you've got small and then after you've got like a straight line and a straight line here. You could cut this second instead of do your title first and then cut this so that it sits square in like that. Yeah. But as you can see, I'm well over the side of my pocket if I do that. So I'm not going to do that. Also, you could put both papers in one pocket. There is no rule that says you have to put them in two different pockets. I just like the idea. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Sophia, I don't have that change yet. Sophia's got rounded edges on the thumbnails on YouTube. I'll have to look in a minute. Right. Oh yes, Melinda, we were talking about the madness that is being up to date or caught up. Yeah, Laura has a great summary here. Being caught up eliminates the possibility of pulling out unscrapped baby pics for the kid who just turned 20. I don't want to miss the joy of pulling out old baby pics to scrap because that is my happy place. May I present to you Mondays Live. Now he's not 20. But yeah, if I were always 100% caught up, I could not have done this page. And I think these photos were just waiting for that paper and that video to happen because that was a joy. Yeah? So there we go. Yeah, I agree. I like being able to go back. And I totally love, I mean, you will know, like if I have a bad day, I scrapbook Disney photos because that's my happy. I love it. So there we go. Yeah, I don't want to be all caught up and then be like, no, I can't ever use these other photos. That's just no fun. So do I want to put any more flowers in here? I'm not sure that I do. I think they're okay as they are. I think I pulled this glue up too much though. Let's fix that. Okay, I am gonna need some thread on those. That's okay. Dots. Here. Oh, started too far to the left. Too far to the left. Okay, there. Yellow. Okay, light green now. Oh, I should have started with the smaller one there. This, in case you haven't noticed, this embellishment or this enamel dot sheet has 4 sizes, not 3. So if you start with the largest one, they do get a bit big and can be a little confusing as to how to how to make them all fit. I kind of want to go ahead and use the orange. Just put it in here next to the orange that's in the flower. Okay, light green. I'm gonna have lots of dots. Okay, so I got dots here, 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 here. Let's bring something up to the top. Now, with these that are left over, ha 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 ha. I'm wondering about just, yeah, I like this. We're gonna mix them into these dots over here. Now, you most certainly don't have to do that, but I just thought it would be a nice little use of kind of bringing the pattern paper into the story, and yeah. Put one here, in the center of that flower, and one up here. I just feel like Mary Blair would be like, use the dots. If you don't know who Mary Blair is, she's the designer behind Small World. The artist behind Small World. I'm a massive fan. Okay. Gold. Oh, Melinda! I'm glad you're here then. Melinda is happy to have stumbled on here because she's feeling sorry for herself. First week of school holidays. Eldest has been a right pain. She's got a cold. She had a dentist appointment yesterday, orthodontist appointment where they changed the braces. Ugh! Everything just had a big old meh. But it's all good. You're here. We will cheer you up. Okay. Now, my other Melinda. Did my other Melinda make it through her stash and need step 4 and 5? Let's see. Now, gold up here. Above the title, below the title, and then a little bit with these flowers. All right. What do we think? What do we think? Do you think you want it to have more, or do you think it's happy? I think it's quite happy, but I'm willing to take comment if you think it needs more. Also, was going to go through the die cut pack that goes with that pattern paper, because I have it, but I haven't opened it. So let's have a look. Which ones did I buy? I bought Frontier, Fantasy, and oh my goodness, I'm not sure how that got through, at the Apperk. It's supposed to be Park. So that's like the Main Street one. That's Frontierland. This is Fantasyland, which is this paper. So let's see what you get in the Fantasyland. This is the Bits and Pieces die cut set. 47 bits and pieces of cardstock. So this was not in a kit. I just bought this for myself. So we've got lanterns, we've got Dumbo, we got a Mad Hatter's hat, we have the Sword in the Stone, Are We Having Fun Yet, Princess Boutique, Mirror Mirror, pastel balloons, we got a glass slipper, a teacup that you can ride in. If you use that to drink your tea, you're going to have problems because there's an opening. Oh, I do like these. I'm glad they put these in again. So these little star filler pieces with the colors. We've got a crown and a candelabra. magic moments. That's quite sweet. Hey, we got Mr. Toad. Disneyland only. There's no Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in Florida. This teacup you could have your tea in. And we got another teacup here. Also no door. So we got at least 3 teacups. Yay. We got a spotty camera. Would totally own that. A tiny little heart tag. We got a different kind of crown here. 5 favorites. Very cute. But of course, American spelling for, you know, as it would be, but still makes my heart go, oh. Enchanted banner, flowers, more little stars there, some Admit 1 tickets, turquoise and pink, Make a Wish. Yay, we got a pirate ship with clouds. That makes me happy. We've got the whale who's going to eat your rowboat. Oh no, be careful. We've got a Yeti. In case you're going, what? And you only go to Florida. In Florida, the Yeti is at Animal Kingdom. In California, remember, the Yeti is on the Matterhorn, which is in Fantasyland. Despite the Matterhorn being, you know, like a real place. Happily Ever After in Small World banner style. We've got a Small World die cut there too. More flowers. More stars. More flowers. I like that all these flowers are like different sizes of piece. What's this one? What is this? That's an F, right? But do I have anything else that's a letter? Oh, I'm really confused. Oh, just an F for fantasy. But then you got to spell out the rest with your own stickers or whatever. Okay. I can see it, but I'm not sure if I would use it. Tinkerbell. Oh, Elaine, you're so right. Elaine says they should just print words that have different spellings. They should just double-side them and put the other spelling on the back. That would be brilliant. And then everybody who doesn't have English as their first language is like, Shimelle, you're a spoiled brat because we don't get anything with our language printed on it. And for that, you're right. I'm totally a spoiled brat. I'm sorry. I wish we could all have them all the way that we write. I really do. Oh, I love this. This way, go back, wrong way, don't be late. That would also be perfect for Paris, which has a hedge maze that's Wonderland themed. After its timeless, imagination has no age, dreams are forever. With Tinkerbell as one word. Once upon a time, journaling card there. Okay, so that's what you get in that pack, just in case you were interested. I just wanted to see what was there. Right, so that leads me to step 4 and 5. Oh, Sophia says, I'll know the answer, but I need to go look. I don't know. So Scar from Minecraft, from Hermitcraft, he's been building a Disneyland base, a Scarland base, and he's built train rides. Okay, and Sophia wants to know the significance. I will go investigate. Okay, Melinda, one Melinda left. The other Melinda is back with steps 1 through 3 complete. Brilliant. This is what I was waiting for before I wanted to sign off. Okay, so if you join in the middle, a review. So Melinda is a little stuck. She loves layering her paper, choosing her paper. That's all great, grand, fun. But then she gets to the embellishments and she just looks at stuff for a long time and doesn't actually get to a point where she enjoys things. Okay, so I gave her 3 steps so far. Step 1 was to choose 5 papers. Step 2 was to choose 2 kinds of lettering. And step 3 was to get some basic tuckies going. So things like labels, tags, circles, simple shapes that would be able to go with any theme, photos, or story that she put with all the stuff that she'd chosen so far. Now, Melinda, have you chosen in your mind by looking at this, can you imagine what story you're going to tell with those photos, or with those supplies, sorry. Can you imagine what photos you're putting with this yet, or is it still completely imaginary for you? Either is okay, but I just want you to be kind of clear on which way you're going. Okay. Julianne, I'll get to that question in a moment. I promise not to leave it unanswered. Okay. So if you do know where you're going, step 4 would be to choose some embellishments that really connect to the story for you. That may be themed, that may not be themed. For example, you could just be as loose a theme of, oh, these are autumn photos, ergo I will put leaves with them. Or these are springtime photos and I will put florals with them because florals for spring. Yeah. Okay. So, if you know where you're going, go ahead and choose that. It may be something that's really specific, like they are photos of Dumbo and I pick this. Yeah. So, or it might be, it's a day at the fair and I pick balloons. That's kind of in the middle. It's spring and I pick pastel flowers. Okay? Any sort of element there is acceptable. Okay? But limit yourself to like one thing. Don't be like, I'm going to do Dumbo and this and this and this. Just one. So it might be, I'm going to have all of these little flowers. That's fine. That could be one thing. Or I'm going to have Dumbo is one thing. Okay? That's step 4. Now, step 5 is where you finish. You're going to put all of the things that you've picked out on the desk so far. And you're going to go, is there something I'm missing here that's true to my style? You know that for me, I would not be able to finish that kit without having enamel dots. So that's where I would go next and be like, I must have my dots. I must have my dots. And my gold mist just lives on the desk, so I don't feel like I have to choose that as an item. But if it's tucked away and you need something like that, then you can do that in step 5 too. Okay? Then your challenge is to go ahead and scrapbook something with that at the next opportunity. And if you got to step 4 and you don't know what story you're going to put with it, that's okay. So instead of choosing something as specific as Dumbo, because you've got a story in mind, look at the supplies you've chosen and go, where could I go with this? And you'll probably go to something along the lines of, I could put stars with this, I could put cameras with this, I could put flowers with this, I could put leaves with this. Yeah? And go that direction in finding your step 4. Step 5 is whatever feels like, oh, my page would not be complete without enamel dots, mist, camera motifs, whatever it is that to you is like, this is my thing. I put it on every page. Okay? If you don't have a thing that you put on every page, number 1, that's okay. Number 2, you might want to try it for like 3 pages in a row to see if it helps you feel like a page is done. Because if you spend a lot of time looking at something and going, is this done? Is this not done? Is this done? Is this not done? It's nice to have something that signals to you, nope, it's done. And when I put gold mist, aside from the journaling, it's done. Okay. Now, there was a question from Julianne. Julianne's question was, if I didn't want to hide the journaling, where would I put the journaling on this? So as long as I was okay with covering up more of the pattern paper, I would extend this and put the journaling box next to the photos here. And I would have a longer box across the bottom of the page. And then I would replace this with tuckies instead of 2 big pieces of paper. Cool? What if you wanted to make this a landscape? You can totally do that, and I have done. You're just going to take the whole journaling or title lettering down here and make it go the right way, and that's going to fill this, and then you're going to have the pattern paper showing up here. There's definitely flexibility there. Okay, I think that is everything for today. And yes, I will investigate and get you an answer to that, Sophia, because now I'm very curious. And Sophia has explained who Good Times with Scar is in the comments. He is a super awesome person if you enjoy Minecraft. Totally family friendly, totally wholesome, kind of good fun stuff. Orangina says the mini lesson of the 5 steps is cool. Yay! Nadine, I don't know about the Heidi Swap Gold Mist. I have no inside info. She confirmed in multiple places, I believe, that it was coming back, but I haven't seen it anywhere. I haven't seen a ship date. But I do know the only tiny bit that I can kind of fill in the gaps is that anything that involves a formula, when it's made in a factory, it's a much bigger, way more involved process than I want stickers or paper. So I'm guessing it'll have something to do with that. Okay. Melinda says, step 5 will be the hardest, but something to work on. That's great. And she's going to make her layout and post it on Facebook this weekend. Whoop, whoop. I'm so glad you can do that. Now, there's a bunch of you here and only 13 of you have clicked the like button. So if you did like this video and you want to press that like button, that'd be super awesome. After saying this all the time and then being like, it's harder to do that on my TV. So if I watch YouTube on my TV, I don't click the like button. Guess what I did this week? I found out how to click the like button on my TV. So I can do it from my remote control. And I'm like, hey, that's not nearly as hard as I thought. So I hope maybe that it's not hard on your TV if you watch on TV too. Right. So October kit on Monday. That's 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Elaine says, are you aware of postal strikes? Yes. Yeah, I'm on it, and we've got some options. They're still going to go out. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than yes, I'm hyper aware and doing everything I can to make sure that everything is still going to go smoothly. And I'm going to do a lot of holding my breath, but we're all going to be good. All right, so. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and I will see. Oh, thanks for everybody who just clicked the like button. You're awesome. Thanks. Right. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.